And we continue to see the economic fallout as well as the economy continues to worsen from month to month. You see the PBOC coming through with another triple R cut, but really the effectiveness of policy is starting to wear pretty weak.
It is. The policy traction isn't there because of the ongoing COVID situation, Heidi. Our own early indicators from Bloomberg has a reading of 3. That means it's in contraction. We're seeing weakness across the board, weaknesses in services. Small businesses are being hit. People are taking less subway rides, obviously less flights. Car sales are down. Industrial production is getting hit. This weakness is right across the board. And Nomura estimates maybe about 20% of China's overall economic activity is being hit by the ongoing COVID restrictions and everything that's associated with that. And then, of course, as you mentioned on the policy side, the policymakers are pulling some levers there, but it all comes back to ultimately how they navigate COVID-0. That's what's suppressing consumer demand. That's also weighing on the industrial side of things, and that's obviously critical to how China's economy plays out in the coming months.
When households and businesses don't want to borrow despite all of the monetary policy action, and what else can policymakers do?
Well, this was laid bare last week, Sherry. So the central bank came out and they lowered their triple R ratio, which basically makes it easier for banks to lend money into the economy. I think it's going to release up about $70 billion worth. But to your point, there is no appetite for borrowing in China at the moment. There's both no appetite and there's no shortage of credit already. So that's clearly not the issue. You could argue that the solution to what's going on isn't necessarily going to come from the monetary policy side of things. Yes, there's a real estate story going on. Of course, that's a huge part of the China slowdown. The authorities in the central bank can play a role there. But as I mentioned earlier, the crux of the animal spirits, the crux of the consumer sentiment story, and in terms of what's disrupting and weighing on activity from travel to production, is really all about COVID-0. And I think the coming weeks and months now are going to be a critical test for this famous COVID-0 policy and, of course, how that does impact the economy too.